When did you make that
Yeah, I mean,
decision?
20 years ago, so it's just uh, a realization that that more of the ideals lined up with my ideals,
Mm,
and whether it be a biblical perspective,
right,
or
right,
just in my opinion, just common sense perspective,
right.
and then just always kind of went that direction, and so yeah.
Yeah, with me it was well, like by blacks we were always taught to be Democrats, and so we just groomed our way being Democrats, and I just something happened where I decided I don't want to be a Democrat no more because the Democratic Party let us down. They lied to us. They said that they would take care of the blacks, but they wouldn't take care of the blacks. They would, they just wanted our vote. They did things ever since King. They started lying to us, and I believe blacks were Republicans before. From what I see, our history, blacks were Republicans because it was the Republican Party. We didn't know freed the black people.
Well, you hope in a society that society itself will wake up to that fact, that the same realization that you had,
Right.
not just for the black population, but even the Hispanic population, the Asian population that's come over. If they would just look at the picture, look at the scope of things, what the two different parties are saying, what the Democratic Party's been telling them they're going to get for years, decades, and there's been nothing. The only thing I see, the people that work with me are struggling struggling to buy groceries for their family, their little
Right,
kids,
right,
and they weren't struggling a few years ago. Now there was still struggle. Don't. It's not like everything was perfect, and it's not going to be perfect after the fact when Trump wins. But if people would just start looking at the common sense scope of things,
right.
they would realize what's happening. The wool's being pulled over their eyes. It's just we're going with the crowd, those kind of things. And sometimes, I mean, we're called to seek truth. We're called to live a righteous life, and I can't align my thoughts with that of the Democratic Party. I
Right,
don't believe in
right.
abortion. I don't, just um, Israel. I'm a supporter of Israel, and it's all tied to biblical
Biblical,
reasoning. So
yes.
and more, and even just the next notch down, it's tied to common sense.
Right.
Like I don't believe that in certain things the Democratic Party believes in. I don't think it's right, especially the direction they're headed. Now, I've got friends that are moderate Democrats that they and I, it's great. The camaraderie, the conversations, things like that. It's fantastic. But
So you find it, hi, God bless you. So you find it still that you're able to talk to a Democrat who are friends,
sure,
because I had some friends who are Democrat, and when they have conversation with Republicans, where they grew up friends or they were family members, they're divided now.
Same with me. Like I've lost friends, acquaintances, business colleagues, even. And it's to me it's sad that be the case. Shouldn't have to be to have a difference of opinion.
Right.
Like I don't always agree with my wife, but the one thing that we're going to do at night is we're going to come together. We're going to say I love you before we go to bed.
Right.
And and I've got a stepson who's very liberal leaning. He's actually a reporter, and
Oh wow.
like so. There's the butting of heads there.
Yeah.
But it's like I tell him all the time when he comes over. I'm like, let's not talk about the hot topics, buddy. Let's enjoy our food, have a good time, and that's what we do.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
we don't have to have those conversations.
Yeah,
because
if they
it's going to
can't
be a
handle
futile
it,
effort
yeah.
anyway. I can't persuade him. He's not going to persuade me. So let's let bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
Enjoy dinner together, break bread,
Right,
go on
right.
about life.
And that's what I found out too, because when you are, when I talk to some of my friends who are Democrat, they 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 start off, in somewhat agreeing with certain things, but then when you touch on the abortion topic, like, is it right to, is murder right? Because a lot of people don't see that that's what you're doing inside a mother's womb.
Right.
Does the mother have the right to murder her own child? Is it right when after the mother have the baby to murder her child?
Right.
But yet, even the way their party is, it's even after the birth of the baby that they can do this. The husband and wife can come together with the doctor and make that decision.
Right.
So, but murder is murder, whether it's inside the womb, and the baby can't speak if it's 9 months old, if it's 6 months old, if
Or if
it's
it's in the
3
womb.
months old in the and that's what I'm saying, in the womb. If it's 3, or 6, or 9 months in the womb, and it can't speak, or 1 month, because it should be at the, as soon as you recognize that you are pregnant with the baby,
Right. Right.
So, but that's like you said earlier, it's common sense. It's just common sense things when it comes down to Israel, the only nation given by God for this is their land.
Right.
So they have to be able to fight for it.
Right.
It's theirs.
And we have, as a nation, under God, we have to be willing to defend them.
That's right.
And at least support them. And so I strongly believe in that. And my wife would be a better interview than me, but she's a nurse on the cancer oncology hospice wing at Baptist, and she's home sleeping. So
But you're doing good. So you can get her up out of bed, huh? I got my wife.
I asked her, and she was like, "Oh, babe, I just want to sleep." She's like, "I'm so tired." She worked several days in a row, and I get it.
Yeah. So let me ask you one more question, because you seem to be a godly man. I can tell that you mentioned the Bible several times. I can see your love for Israel. I can see your love for life. I can see your love for God. So I take it you're a Christian.
I am.
Okay. Praise the Lord. Yeah.
Go to church out here in Bartlett. And I'm on the elder team, and I also run our safety and security program.
Okay.
And,
Good.
So try to stay busy. Serve the city of Bartlett too on one of the boards, and run warehouses. So manage warehouses.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're a busy man.
Yeah, I do. I stay busy. I coach trap shooting.
Oh, really?
My daughter, she shoots for Bartlett Trap, and I help coach. So a lot of good things going on.
Okay.
Did you know that in today's society, where it's so divided on the gun issue, that the second fastest growing sport in the United States is shotgun sports?
Wow, I didn't know
Trap and
that.
skeet, shooting trap and skeet.
Wow.
Is the second. And it's the one of the very safest sports there are, because all the coaches are NRA certified shotgun coaches who teach safety and healthy fear of the firearm before the kids ever get
Wow.
on the line to shoot.
Wow.
So I just wanted to mention that. It's a neat statistic that in today's society that's the second fastest growing sport
Wow.
in the US.
And you do that?
I help coach. My daughter does it.
Wow.
I coach. She's a lot better shot than I am. She's way better.
I might need to get some information from you so you can show me some stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We enjoy it.
Now, you're familiar with all of this stuff that's happening in the world. I'm sure all of we see Islamic rise. Where they have these things happening with the school protests and stuff. You're familiar with the 2020 riots, even where Ross, Kamala Harris, new guy, ended up making all of these pushing the whole rioting thing,
Yeah.
allowed the fires, all of
let
the
it happen, and then even through the COVID thing, he implemented a thing where neighbors could turn in their neighbors for not masking
Wow,
up
I didn't
and
know
things like
that.
And to me, that's wild.
Wow.
That's incredibly socialist.
yes, it
And
is.
the idea that we've got now a person running as our VP that installed that in his state while his state was burning down, or
Mhm.
cities in his state were burning down. It's unfathomable to me that people would consider voting for him. I
Right,
don't
right.
understand that. Again, it just goes back to common sense.
Yes.
And not being told and dictated to what you're going to vote and how you're going to vote, and using your own mind,
Right,
just
right.
thinking things through. I was just like, oh.
Yeah, it's just common, like you said at first, common sense. Do we want somebody to be burning down our cities,
Right.
coming against the police, who help law and order. I mean, if you take away the police, what's going to happen?
Right.
It's just
Right.
common
Chaos.
sense. Yeah, that
Anarchy,
things
chaos.
that's not going to make the criminals be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to stop
Right.
doing crime now because
Yeah.
we don't have no police.
Right.
No, they're going to do it more, and that's what
Right.
we see.
Criminals
So
are going to do criminal things. It doesn't matter what legislation is passed. Criminals are going to do criminal things. Now, it might make some things a little more challenging for them. But if they want to rob somebody, or if they want to steal a gun, or whatever, they're going to do what they're going to do.
Right, right.
And you're seeing it in France, where the guns are banned now. There's knife attacks. Like this guy went on a rampage less than a week ago and started stabbing people in France. And people
Wow, yeah.
people were critically injured.
Yeah,
And that's with a knife. So like it's
That's
not
right.
it's not the tool, it's the person.
Exactly.
It's
not the gun. It's not the gun.
in their life that's led them there. But people, their families and stuff like that, they're so scared to talk about the realities that they're like the issues, the mental health issues that their family members, they're embarrassed. They're ashamed of it.
Right,
So they don't want
right.
to talk about it. They don't want to address their family member. And I get it. As society, we want this great picture of ourselves and our
Mhm.
family, but it's not reality. And so when you
Right.
by keeping your mouth shut and not trying to get help for your family member, you're opening the door for things,
That's right.
negative
That's
things
right.
to happen
That's
at
right.
some point. And now it might not be going and stabbing people or shooting people up, but it could lead to something.
That's right.
Why not do something? Why not try to do something ahead of time?
Yeah,
So,
see something, say something. Yeah, so and when we're seeing all of these things happening, it's just letting us know these are the signs of the times that Jesus spoke of. He said these things was going to happen in Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13. That these things was going to happen in the last days. That we were going to see an increase, basically, of these things. Violence, lawlessness would
Right.
abound. The love of many would grow cold. When we look at the division, you look at
my gut tells me we're in the end times. Now I know
That's
also
right.
that I can't determine when the end times are, but if you look around, it sure feels like it might
Oh
be.
yes, yes.
And it's scary, but at the same time, it's like it's welcoming. Because I know what's in store for us. after
Right,
this. And
right.
This is just a little small snippet to the eternity that's
That's
coming.
right.
So it's
That's
like,
right.
I'm ready to put this world behind.
So what us Christians have to do, right? We have to do Matthew 28, Mark 16. Go out and preach the gospel. Sharing the gospel of
Yes, sir.
Jesus Christ and letting them know, hey, our Lord is going to return, because he said when we see all these things begin to happen, look up, look nigh, because your redemption draws near. So we're seeing all these things. We're seeing even persecution with the Christians and the Jews happening, and they're increasing. And they want to, if they could get their way, if they can have their way, the Democratic Party have their way, they would come against the very first things as Christians. They're going to come against the Christians and the Jews. They got to get the Christians out of the way first in order to get to the Jews.
And that's what they're desperately working on.
Exactly.
I do have fears for the Christian community, especially in our country, because of the direction that it's headed. It's going to become not now, not in the next 5 years, but 20 years down, if Jesus hasn't come back yet.
I think he's going to come before that.
20 years from that, it's
You,
very
you,
likely.
you know, 2030 is going to be like the third day. One day of God is like how many for men?
Right.
1,000
Right.
years. So we're coming up on the third day. And what did Jesus do on the third day after laying down his life? He rose on the third day, right? So I believe he's coming back on that third day. I don't believe that 2030 is the year that he's coming back. The third day is like all throughout the millennium, but I do believe that it's going to be right sometime after that. So nobody knows the day or the hour,
Right.
but he says we should know the season. That's why he talked about the fig tree.
Well, we're called to be ready.
That's right.
We're called to preach the
In
gospel,
season
but
and
we're
out
gonna be ready.
season.
So,
God bless you, brother.
God
Say your
bless you
name
too.
one more time.
Jason Seidel.
Jason Seidel, Kevin Miller.
Nice to
God
meet
bless you. I enjoyed speaking with